Let's check in with Eagles defensive end Vinny Curry, who's back for round 2 with the Birds. You know, a little known fact, I sat next to Vinny Curry once at a WWE event, and he probably doesn't remember that. I mean, but I remember sitting there, and I know, Vinny, you are a pretty big WWE fan. Am I correct about that?
Definitely correct about that.
There's a lot of wrestling going on. So are you strictly WWE? Are you going AEW? Are you getting into some of these other things?
Yeah, I'm a fan all the way around. So, you know, I like the AEW, I like WWE, the whole NXT movement.
Yeah. So is this
like
something post-career we could maybe see you morph in there? Is it you have a tag team like in mind? Are we going to see you making the rounds over there when you're done playing football?
Shit, if I had to do anything, I'd be doing commentary.
Well, you know, Vinny, I do commentary, and my color analyst is CM Punk. We do the UFC fights together.
Nice. See, there you go. See, that's a legend right there.
So I will try to get you in some sort of commentary role if I can, all right?
Oh, man. Well, hook it up.
Yeah, all right. So with that,
so there's a game on Sunday.
Yeah. By the way, Vinny is a Marshall guy, and I'm a WVU guy, so we hung out in the same state for a while there, so we could play nice
and
together.
I'm a Penn State guy, so I can make fun of both of you.
Yeah, that's right. But Vinny, I know
Penn State stole our slogan. We are.
Yeah, that's right. We are Marshall. Came first. Vinny, I know coming back here was pretty cool for you. You spent the time in Tampa, but now you're back here, and I guess your role is probably going to be expanded a little bit with Malik's unfortunate injury here. I mean, it seems that you might be a guy who gets some more snaps because of that.
Well, you know, they haven't said anything yet, but, you know, if that's the case, just best believe I'm going to be ready, and I'm definitely going to take full advantage of the opportunity. But, you know, anything, you know, the coach is asking me to do is all for the better of the team, man. To help this team, you know, to reach our goal, I'm all for it.
Man, Vin, to reflect on what Mike just said, I feel for Malik because I know Jim Schwartz in the offseason made it a mission. He said, please get me a great interior pass rushing tackle that I can put next to Fletch. And, you know, Malik was the best one out there and a really good one. The guy plays one game, gets hurt. Now, I know that's the business, and you were hurt last year in Tampa Bay. But, man, that's got to be, just for the team, really tough to see Malik lost after one game.
Oh, absolutely, man. That dude put in so much work this offseason with us. He made it his business to be here with us and train with us. And you know what, man? He's a great player, and he's going to bounce back. And, you know, we lucky to have him on our team.
How's he doing? I mean, he seemed pretty, you know, when I spoke to him after the game the other night, he you know, he was professional, but he seemed pretty downtrodden.
I mean, you know, this, you know, he had high hopes for himself this year, but, you know, he's pretty bummed about it. Anybody would be bummed about an injury. Mm-hmm. But he's in high spirits.
Cool.
Vinny, when you were here, obviously, the last time, a lot of these guys were here as well. Now, is the defense changed at all since you came back? I mean, has Jim kind of changed, or is it still what Schwartz does? I mean, a lot of the fans are, why don't they blitz more? He relies on you guys to blitz, really. He doesn't want to blitz. He wants you and Barnett and Graham and Fletch to kind of do that for him. But has there been any changes, or was it like jumping right back in and everything was very much the same?
Man, it was some different things, but for the most part, kind of jumped right back into it. Really taking upon myself to really study and, you know, just to refresh my memory. But the coaches did a great job at catching me up to speed.
Yeah, it seems that, you know, is that accurate, though, that the mantra is, does he tell you guys, look, I don't want to have to blitz. You guys, I need you to get to the quarterback for me so I don't have to blitz. Is that something that he is very vocal about?
You know, you best believe that, man. He definitely, you know, hangs his hat and believes in his defensive lineman. You know, that's on every team he ever coached at or ever been on. So, you know, but with him on game day, you never know what, you know, we never know what he's going to give you. You know, that's what makes him, you know, such a great defensive coach.
There was a little bit of that 2017 flavor in that sack, I think, that Jernigan got, right, against Case Keenum, because you and him executed one of those old-fashioned TE stunts where you kind of took one guy out and Timmy looped around and got the sack. And it's just funny.
You know,
go ahead.
I seem to be notorious for throwing guys layups.
You helped out. You got the assist.
Yeah, man. But it was a great play. It was a good call by the coaching staff, and you know, Timmy executed that thing to the T.
Right. Right. So tell me, you're going up against a completely different style of offense, offensive line, everything, maybe even philosophy down in Atlanta on Sunday. And Atlanta's offensive coordinator, Dirk Cutter, you know well because he was your coach last year in Tampa.
Yep.
What do you expect from him? Because you guys, when you were at Tampa last year, you guys put a lot of points up against Jim Schwartz's D.
Well, one thing about Dirk, man, he always wants to, start fast and put up points. So at the end of the day, we're going to get his best shot, especially with those guys losing last week. We know what we got ahead of us, and we know this is going to be a great game. And, guys in the locker room are very, very excited about it.
Do you think, is Dirk, you know him well, is he going to max protect against you guys as much as maybe you saw last week in the first half there against Washington? Or is he, I'd rather just take my chances and have 4 or 5 outlets on every play?
Well, Dirk's been around a long time, man, and, the great ones always have their first they
Did we lose him?
Yeah, it looks like we got a little bit of a bad connection. Let's see if we can't fix that up for you real quick. It sounds like you might have hit a little bad zone right there. But, the Dirk Cutter thing's interesting. You're right. He was the head coach in Tampa, which was where Vinny was last year.
Right.
And you're right. I'm wondering if Vinny gave him any insight. Like, hey, go after this guy.
I don't know. He won a Super Bowl, just like Wendell Smallwood said, I don't give out information. I won a Super Bowl.
What'd you think of that?
I thought that was I almost thought he was lying. Well, I get loving the team, but I I just have a hard time believing that if the coach is really – first of all, I don't really think he was asked for his opinion because it's not like Jay Gruden needed inside information about the Eagles' defense or anything like that.
All right, let's bring Vinny Curry right back in here to the Boardwalk Honda hotline. And, Jeff had just asked you, about Dirk and the offense. They scored a bunch of points last year against Philly. So you guys know that – and you know a lot about what kind of offense he's going to bring to the table this week.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, man, we know for sure we're going to get his best. Most of the great ones have their first 15 that's their bread and butter, and we be sure that's what he's going to try to fill us out with. But at the end of the day, we just got to do what we coach to do and rely on our preparation. Well, we'll be all right.
I know for as long as I've watched you, you've lined up in a lot of different places. You can slide inside, which you did when Chip Kelly was coaching the Eagles in nickel and pass rush formations. It seems like Jim likes Derek Barnett over left tackle. So are you a guy that's going to line up over right tackle more now that, with Malik out and probably having 3 defensive ends on the field at the same time with Brandon kicked inside? Or do you think you might get kicked inside? Or is it going to be a little bit of everything? We're so used to the rotations here being very similar that this is kind of new terrain now.
Right. I mean, no one has really said anything yet. So, but whatever they ask me to do, I'll be prepared for, whether it's inside, outside. When the opportunity comes knocking at my door, best believe I'm going to take full advantage of it.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Do you have a side that you prefer?
So well last weekend, man, it was just crazy.
Yeah. Do you have a side though that you prefer, or you just naturally like rushing over?
Nah, not at all.
You just like to hit quarterbacks.
Yeah, I just like to kick some ass.
So, Vinny, take us, our listeners, real quick, inside the defensive line kind of room. When you watch an offensive line like Atlanta, they got whipped last week. Matt Ryan was running for his life. He was getting hit a lot. Is this a week where you guys – I think Ryan got sacked 4 times last week, but he was hit all day. Is this a week where you guys are watching the film like, oh, yeah, I can get some sacks this week?
Well, when you really look at the film and you really look at their offensive line, they had a lot of miscommunications. And we know that, this is the National Football League. Everyone's professional, so we know that they're going to be working on that stuff. And we know we're going to get their best shot because they're coming off a loss. So anytime you look at stuff like that, we take all that stuff into consideration. And, we just got to go out there and be us, man, and just have fun while we being us. And the rest will take care of itself.
It's funny, Vin, and before we let you get out, you can hear in your voice just how happy you are to be back here again. And when Andy Reid was the coach, even before you were drafted, there was kind of a long line of Eagles who had left and then came back. Either something happened with the team they went to, and they would always say, man, I'm glad to be back. Some of them even said they shouldn't have left. But I feel like I hear in your voice. Just someone what was it like to sign that contract again? You know, you had a chance to visit with the Bengals and you chose the Eagles. What it was like to become an Eagle again?
Oh man, it was great, man. It felt right. The situation felt right. You know, like it just felt like I belong, man. And you know, the goal for myself and the team is quite the same. And, you know, and that's, you know, just have a crack at the tournament and get to the championship and win that thing. So, you know, feel real good to be back.
Which is interesting because, you know, you're in a place like Tampa, which I've visited many times. It's tough to beat the weather. It's pretty cool down there. But in the end, people seem like, you know what, I still much rather play in a place like Philly. Forget the weather, forget all that stuff. For whatever reason, it seems like a place like Philly trumps even these warm weather, great beach, and great, you know, good time cities, you know?
Absolutely, man. And, like, anytime you hit free agency and you know what I mean? Like, I enjoy my time down there, but it's unfortunate that I got hurt. Sidelined me for about 9 or 10 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, played the last three games, but it just wasn't the same. It wasn't the same feeling that I get when I'm with my brothers, the guys that I've been with and I came in this league with, you know, and it's just a whole different atmosphere, a whole different feeling. You know, if you turn on the tape from this weekend, you could just see us out there. We all just enjoying ourselves and enjoying the game and enjoying the process of it. You know, that's what happens. That's what championship teams do, man. They rely on each other, and they know that, you know, everyone has each other back.
Well, Vinny, I know, by the way, that Dale Mabry in Tampa's got some of the worst traffic I've ever sat in my life. They got to do something with the traffic in that town, man. It's brutal down, you know?
It's crazy, man, because, so here's a quick story. So I kind of stayed off at Dale Mabry. Kofi Kingston let me stay in his house. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he rented his house out to me. You know, that was nice of him to do. And, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Well, so next Saturday, not this Saturday, next Saturday, the fights are at Parks up in Philly. I'm doing the call with CM Punk, so I'll see if I can get his agent to say, hey, I got a guy who wants to do some commentary for some wrestling, so I'll see if I can hook you up.
All right, man, hook it up.
Wait, we got to ask Vinny one last thing before we get
it.
out of here, because Vinny's a North Jersey guy. He's a Jersey guy. He knows 25 years ago today, Biggie drops Ready to Die album. What is the best track off that album to Vinny Curry?
Man, Juicy.
Ah, that's a good one. All right.
Yes, it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine.
I wasn't Give Me the Loot. That was mine.
In the limousine.
Yeah, don't get in his way, man. He's
I didn't know he was
freestyling,
going to
man.
do
Let
the
him
whole
go.
bar. Go ahead, drop the bars, Vin.
He said, it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and Pepper, Heavy D up in the limousine. Hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, Rap Attack, Mr. Magic Molly Mall. I let my tape rock till my tape pop. Yeah.
There you go.
That was the joint right there.
That was
I
it.
remember being a kid. And I was
94.
like, dang. You got, you know, that's when the big screen TVs was a big thing.
That's
Oh,
right.
Oh, he got a big screen TV in his music video.
That's right. They had the big old backs on those big screen TVs.
Yeah, he did.
Vinny Curry, best of luck, man. Stay healthy, of course. That's number one. Atlanta, Sunday Night Football. Get it done, and we'll catch up with you down the line, man.
All right, man. Take it easy, guys. You
Thanks,
guys have
Vin.
a great weekend.
You do
too.
the same, and that is Vinny Curry here on the Sports Bash Live 97.3 ESPN.